You're listening to TRAXXfm's podcast. If you've enjoyed our content, more podcasts are available on the RTM Click app and website. Let us know what you think. Please email us at traxfm.rtm@gmail.com. Like and follow us on social media at TRAXXfm Official.
Welcome to a realm where shadows dance, whispers echo, and spine-tingling tales weave their eerie web. This is Spooky Tales, the place where the darkness comes alive and nightmares become your companions. As the moon rises and the forest rustles with secrets, we present to you the one and only Spook Master himself, Albert.
I'm here. Kevin?
Hello,
you there?
Spook Master.
I don't know whether your elders or any friends have advised you before. When you're walking, right, along a dimly lit street, hardly any lights, and then you hear some bells ringing, don't turn back. Do not look, you just go forward. What do you think? I mean, humans are naturally curious, so we might just, stop and then look back. But bad things can happen, apparently,
Bells, huh?
Yeah,
maybe
bells, like
maybe
ding, ding,
some
ding, ding,
bells around a pet, maybe a cat or a dog.
I mean, like, when my elders were telling me when I was a little kid, they were serious. They said, don't look back, That was serious. They were dead serious, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not a joke,
Yeah,
To them, it's not a joke at all.
Right.
So I'm not sure.
I've not heard the bells one. Yeah, I know. Don't look back.
haven't heard,
You
right?
hear something, but not.
But now that you've heard about it, would you be like, would you want to tempt fate and then just look back and say?
Definitely not.
No? Oh, okay.
Even now when I go to the car, right?
Right.
I'm not looking anywhere. I'm not looking around. I don't want to see something I don't want to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not looking around looking for something to see.
But when something wants you to see it, you will see it.
You'll make
That's no running away, man.
It'll make its presence known.
Yeah, wherever you turn, left, right, or you look at the bottom or you look at the sky, it'll be there. Oh boy. Okay, so you've got something spooky for us.
Yeah, I got a
What's that about?
spooky tale.
Yeah.
Right? So
go on.
My friend told me about this one. Okay, so he was working in this place. It's like in a shop lot. Okay, so a shop lot, so a small office, and there's one room in that shop lot which is like
It's
locked.
always a room, isn't it?
Yeah, it's locked. Okay, and it's known as the private prayer room of the I don't know who told the boss or whatever.
Okay.
So no one goes in there. Okay. And
Just locked away like
it's
that.
just locked, and at night there's a light. They switch on a light at night. So when the staff leave, right, they switch off all the lights except this one switch
In the
light.
room?
In this one
Inside
switch.
the room?
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know. Maybe so. There's people have seen. It's not like it's close up. People have seen. It's like there's some pictures and some stuff there, and then there's like a light because they don't want to put a candle. It might burn down the place, right? So then there's a light that's kept on at night.
Okay.
And so people know about it. So one day my friend was working at night. Obviously at night it happens, right? Then
it's best not to work at night.
yeah, exactly.
If you know what's good for you.
Yeah,
Work in the daytime.
So sometimes they have to work at night to to pack the products and stuff like that.
There's no choice,
packages.
is there?
Yeah. And he was going to the toilet, which was at the back. All right. And so he had to pass by the room. And so, because it's at night, so there's a light on, right, in this room.
Yeah.
And when he passed by, he saw like some shadowy movement, like some shadows
Inside the room.
You can't really see inside the room because no one goes in.
Of course.
All right.
He saw it through the gap in the door, perhaps?
No,
I don't know.
It's a window, but it's not.
Oh, there's a window.
Yeah, but then there's curtains inside the room.
I gotcha.
But sometimes there's some like gaps between the curtains that you can see, right? And so he saw like some shadowy things moving in the room. So that was spooky. But anyway, he said, maybe someone's in there.
Yeah,
maybe
that would be the logical thing to think about.
Someone's using the room. So anyway, he went to the toilet, and when he came back, there was music coming from that room.
Music?
Yeah. So, okay, fine, because someone's in the room, right? So they might be using. Then he went back to the front where they did their work and stuff like that. And later, as he passed by again, because he's quite curious, he saw like some vision, but there's no one there. Okay, because this
And
room...
he heard music.
Yeah.
Yeah, so curiosity sometimes kills the cat.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on. Thank you.
And
I'm getting really.
and because
a bit,
this room is a private room,
scary.
right? There's a shoe rack outside, so people who go in need to take off their shoes.
And put the shoes on the rack.
Yeah, but there's no shoe on the rack this time. Okay,
No
so
shoes.
indicates that no one was there, but he couldn't be sure, right? And he's not going to call the big boss and say, "Hey, are you using the room?" Right? He's
Yeah.
just a staff there, so he's not
true,
bothered.
true.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's doing his work. Then again he hears the music. The music comes and goes. And then when he went closer to, like, he's a bit curious to find out, is there anyone actually using that room? And when he went closer, he saw some water coming out of the room.
Leaking
Yeah.
through the door.
Through the door. So
Okay.
that's a cause for concern, because not just spooky, but because maybe something's leaking, right? So
That is true.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So he decides to open the door. I mean, there's a key there. Everyone knows, you're just not supposed to go inside, lah. But he takes the key and opens the door. And when he opens,
I don't want to know, man.
there's no one there.
He opened the door and then he looked inside. There was nobody.
Yeah. There's just a small puddle. It's not even a puddle, like a small area of water in the middle, and it's dripping out.
Okay, in the middle of the floor,
Yeah.
there was a little puddle of water.
Yeah.
And where does the water come from?
No,
From the ceiling dropping down, or
No, there's nowhere leaking. It's just like some water was there and it started pouring out. When he went to the toilet, he didn't see any water. Okay, and he came back and did his work for some I don't know, 20
boy.
minutes or something.
Ah.
And then when he passed by again, because he heard the music, he saw the water coming out. And he opened the door and there's no one there.
No, this is not good, man.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense at all. I mean, where does the water come from?
Yeah.
It keeps coming out right
saw
from
some
the
shadow,
floor.
saw some
and he saw
shadow.
some shadows.
Music is on and off, but there's no one there.
So
I mean, he only can tell the story to his colleagues, but they were not there.
things like that can happen.
Yeah, it can. Especially when the space is dedicated for something like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that is weird. Now, this is TRAXXfm Spooky Tales. We've got a spooky tale, and this is a real story, a true story, submitted by Sunshine Lover. Hello there, Sunshine Lover. Thank you for your submission. And it goes like this. I'm going to read it as she wrote it, okay? This incident occurred in the mid-60s when my friends and I, aged around 8 to 10, used to play under the flame of the forest tree on weekends. The boys typically played marbles, while us girls played hopscotch. One day, our friend Bing was squatting and arranging marbles on the ground when we noticed some droplets of blood on his back. You know, in those days, most boys were usually shirtless. And we shouted, "Bing, Bing, hey, there's blood on your back." Bing then looked up above him, and we followed suit. Well, we saw nothing. But when we looked down, Bing was stumped on the ground, like fainted, you know. So we kids were in a panic, running and shouting while catching the attention of some adults. One of them came, picked Bing up, and rushed him to a nearby house. Now, the moment Bing was brought into the house, the male caretaker there, we don't know what happened, but he immediately went into a trance. That's right, a trance. While in the trance, a female voice was heard coming from him, saying, "Mother-in-law, I did not steal your chicken. I did not go back to my parents' house that day. Even when the chicken came back, you still call me a thief. I can't bear it. Hence, I hang myself." Then someone asked the caretaker, "Who's your mother-in-law?" And he replied, giving the name of the woman and that of her mother-in-law. Then he continued, "Husband, do you know that I was 3 months pregnant the day I left? Now your son, whom I name Achu, and I are living miserably. Next, Ching Bing, make sure you pray and do all the proper things for us." And with that said, the caretaker woke up from his trance, and Bing was also awakened from his sleep. And from that day onwards, we kids dare go and play under that tree again. And during our walk to school, I remember asking Bing, hey, you know that day when you look up the tree, what did you see? And he told us he saw a long lady with long hair up in the tree looking down at him.
This is Spooky Tales with your spook master, Albert, all the way till the witching hour.
TRAXXfm.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Spooky Tales. This program contains elements of horror but not excessive. Listener discretion is advised.
Okay, we have a story next, which is submitted by Caroline Ng, and is narrated by MJ.
I'm MJ, and I'm here to read another story submitted by our listener Caroline. And oh boy, I'm feeling the chills already. Okay, so here goes. One night, my hubby was woken up from his deep sleep when he heard a loud banging that came from the back door. Immediately, his first instinct was to reach out to his room door to check if it was securely bolted. At that moment, he heard the flip-flapping sound of a skirt, as if someone had brushed past his door, and he could simultaneously smell the very strong fragrance of Kritikura powder too. Which was weird because the powder was kept in the bathroom right at the back of the house. So he went to the back door and he went all around the whole house to check. Everything seemed normal. And so he went back to sleep. The next morning, he asked all the other tenants if they had heard any noises the night before, and all of them answered no. A month later, hubby went back to Ipoh, and it so happened that a family friend, also a spiritual master, dropped by to visit his parents. He then took the opportunity to consult and related the strange incident that happened back in the PJ house. The master then asked for a bowl of uncooked rice to be placed on top of the table. The next thing he did was to summon the spirit over, and immediately the rice bowl started to rattle by itself. Then he placed his hand over the bowl and the rattling stopped. The master then asked my hubby exactly what he wanted, whether he would like to see the face of the ghost or to negotiate with the ghost. On second thought, my hubby changed his mind not to do so, as it would affect him psychologically in the long run after seeing the ghost. The master had then also advised him to move out of that place, as it was a dwelling place for the ghost. It is a common saying that, when one's aura is low, one is bound to meet up with strange happenings. Do you agree?
I agree, totally. When your aura is low, you can see things. So when one's aura is low, I suppose, go to sleep early, if you know what I mean. Only walk about in the daytime. I think that should be the safe way to go about it. Caroline, thank you so much for your story. That's really scary. And I'm so happy your hubby decided not to take it any further, if you know what I mean. And our guest narrator, MJ, thank you so much.
One thing is for sure, there is no turning back now. Enjoy your stay, if you can.
Spooky Tales with Albert till midnight.
TRAXXfm.
If you believe, then there is such things. But whatever, when it's already late at night and you're walking all alone for whatever reason, and try just not to look back. You just go forward, arrive at your destination safely, and be thankful. Okay? Don't look back, especially when you hear bells ringing. I've been told it's not a good thing. Okay. And now here comes Garnison, one of our listeners. He submitted a story, and this is really quite frightening. a true story, and this is something which he experienced himself. It's not a story that was told to him by a friend. No. So, Ganesan, if you're ready, take it away.
Good day, Albert. Since this is a spooky Thursday, I'd like to share my story. My name is Ganesan. Many years ago, I went to work in where there's a huge power station as a security guard. I was there for almost a year, and during my time there, usually our job is to, do clocking, you see. Most security guards will know what is clocking. Because they have certain, the whole area is quite a huge area. The power station is right next to the sea. So we used to walk about 45 minutes to an hour to cover the whole area. And then what we do is we go one by one to each and every post to write a report and also to do a clocking. And there are huge two buildings there. They call it the turbine building, where the engines continuously run 24 hours. At that time, at that particular night, I was working with a friend by the name of Hamid. And we were both walking and then went into this building. And then the post, the report post is actually on the second level of the building, you see. So we had to use the stairs. As we walked up the stairs, and the noise of the engine is quite loud. So you go in and then you walk up the stairs. And as I went up to the top of the stairs, close to the booth where the report book is there for you to sign. So I went in, and then as my friend Hamid was waiting by the stairs while I was writing the report, you see. So as we were walking, and then we heard a very shrieky, scary kind of sound, like a woman screaming her heart out, you see. We were quite astonished and surprised because there were no women there. There were only men working around at that hour. It was probably about 12 to 2 in the morning. So I was asking my friend, what could that be and where the sound comes from? And he was saying, no idea where it is from. So as I signed the report and I came out of the booth, I looked up. Right, there's a ladder that goes up right behind the booth, for workers to use, you see, along the wall of the building. I looked up and then I saw just a shadow of a figure that was sort of like sitting in a squatting position and just sitting there, not moving. So I was just looking at it, and I was telling my friend Hamid that, look there, there's a kind of a shadow figure. And then, as I was just looking and talking to him, the figure started moving, the shadow figure started moving, and it was going towards the ladder against the wall, you see, towards the end of the building. So as it was going, I was trying to figure out what could it be, you see, because there was no sound or anything, but I could only see the figure. And I just followed the figure towards the end of the building, and right up to the end, where there's a dead end on the ladder, and just disappeared. And the sound of the woman screaming, a woman's voice, both of us heard it. And after that, we looked around and there was nothing there, completely nothing. And then both of us walked down the stairs, and then we went right to the head office of the security head office, and wrote a report saying that this is what we saw, this is what we heard. Because we have to, that's our duty, you see. There were also other guards working there who were also nearby, outside the building, and there will be usually one guard sitting right on the ground floor. And he said he also heard that sound, the screaming of a woman, but we never actually found a clue as to what it was. The shadow figure or the voice of someone screaming. Right until I left the place, I really could not get a clue of what it was. So that was my scary experience. That's the story I'd like to share, Albert. Thank you.
There you have it. Spooky tales, as eerie as they are spine-chilling. You may want to sleep with the lights on tonight, just in case. And should there be a knock on the window, try not to look.
You're listening to TRAXXfm's podcast. If you've enjoyed our content, more podcasts are available on the RTM Click app and website. Let us know what you think. Please email us at traxxfm.rtm@gmail.com. Like and follow us on social media at TRAXXfm Official.